One, two, three. Content warning. This video contains real-world audio recordings and subject matter that some viewers may find disturbing, including an audio-visual recreation of an aircraft disaster. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. They're kind of loud, ain't it? Hopefully you get quieter when this nigga start talking. From Nexpo, with love. All love, my nigga. All love. All love, all love, all love, all love, all love. Something has exploded. The gear doors, what? Check the gears. Body gears are. Please put your oxygen mask on, and please. Fasten your seatbelt. Oh my god. Bro, you know what I just realized? We just played a game about this, nigga. We literally just played The Forest. The fuck?
Aboard a Japanese passenger flight on the 12th of August 1985, an alarm begins to sound.
1985?
Unbeknownst to the pilots, the plane had just undergone a rapid decompression, leaving them scrambling to get the aircraft under control. Over and over, they attempt to maneuver the plane back home. However, nothing they try seems to work. The airplane is completely unresponsive, yet the over 500 passengers on it have no idea just how dire their situation truly is.
Oh my god, nigga, I would actually lose my shit.
On this aircraft, a structural component has undergone a catastrophic failure. A failure caused by a near-decade
Rupture may be cause of flight
long oversight, and a failure that would lead to what is now known as the single worst disaster in global aviation history.
Oh, aviation history. I was about to say, nigga, like, what? Not the worst global fucking disaster, because, nigga, there is way more shit that's way worse. I was about to say.
Tonight's video is sponsored by Incogni. As we move towards an increasingly interconnected world, the idea of online privacy becomes more and more imperative. Every day, data brokers are scraping your
Good
data
fucking shit, nigga. Get your bag.
I'm
Little shout out and
Incogni.com.
shit. Get your
Once again
little
to take
promo
your
bag.
possible.
Chapter 1. Home.
It's Monday.
August 12th, 1985. Flight 123.
Delta Flight 191 is under investigation after a tragic accident. A string of unsolved murders grips a small town in Washington. And across the pond in Tokyo, it's rush hour.
Tokyo. I need to go. Tokyo, Japan. Shibuya. That's where I need to go to.
It's the week of Oben, a Japanese tradition in which they honor their fallen ancestors, and thousands are scrambling through Haneda Airport to get home to their families. At 6 p.m., Japan Airlines Flight 123 prepares for its fifth flight of the day.
Flight 123.
This one is full, traveling from Tokyo to Osaka a little under an hour away.
Bro, it's not even that far. That's what I'm saying.
On this day,
what?
49-year-old Captain Masami Takahama is training as co-pilot 39-year-old Yutaka Sasaki in a Boeing 747. The two were joined by a 46-year-old flight engineer named Hiroshi Fukuda in the cockpit, and 521 others awaiting this trip in the flight's main cabin.
Bro.
In every sense, this flight is entirely routine. All is going to plan, and they're just a few minutes
How
behind
did it
schedule.
go wrong, my nigga? Like, what happened?
Japan Airlines Flight 123 takes off at 6:12 p.m.
6:12 p.m.
And as the aircraft powers through the clouds, the passengers look out of their windows to a Tokyo slowly fading.
Nigga, that was their last time looking at Tokyo, nigga. That is absurd.
12 minutes in, and they're nearing the cruising altitude of 24,000 feet. And just as everyone's getting settled in,
What happened, bro? It was not a crash, my nigga, so what happened? Please tell me. Start explaining. I need to know. What is that? An open hatch? Like, what is that big? What is this big ass black smoke cloud? What is that?
at 6:25 p.m., there's a
6:25?
deafening bang to the rear as the bathroom ceiling collapses. A blinding white light flashes. The water vapor in the air condenses to a fog, and the oxygen masks fall in front of disoriented passengers. All of this happens in a matter of seconds, sending everyone on board
Bro, it's been like 10
into
minutes since the
an
flight took
unbridled
off.
panic.
It's been like 10 minutes, nigga. What? Make sure to put your oxygen mask on and place the elastic band behind your head. And to all cabin attendants, please get the oxygen mask ready.
Put out your cigarette.
Put out your cigarette. This is an emergency. To all passengers, if you are with any children, please get the oxygen mask ready for them. Uncontrollable. Chapter 2. 6:26, 14 minutes into the flight. So boom. What happened on the flight so far? They barely took off 10 minutes into the fucking sky. The hatch on the bathroom fucking flies off or some shit, I guess. A bunch of fucking vapor or fog or whatever, smoke or whatever gets through the cabin and filling up the whole entire plane. Then the nigga goes on the radio, tells niggas to put their mask on, doesn't give them a reason.
The crew begins to realize that the plane has become uncontrollable. After being granted permission to return to Haneda Airport, Captain Takahama panics, questioning why First Officer Sasaki is banking so much in one direction. He commands for him to ease up. However, all inputs performed by them are unresponsive.
Oh my god.
As it turns out, all 4 hydraulic lines leading to the plane's wings are severed, and unbeknownst to them, their
What?
vertical stabilizer is completely destroyed.
How?
This plane is flying with no
Jet flew deeper into trouble.
means of stability, and with that, their task of regaining control
Highly
to
unable
land
to-
back home
Bro, how do you take off in a plane and they don't check the plane before you take off, my nigga?
safely is borderline unthinkable. Inside the main cabin, a passenger takes one single photo, in which we can observe the oxygen masks fully engaged. Unfortunately, the supply is extremely limited, only meant to last long enough for the pilots to descend to a breathable altitude. What they were unaware of, though, was that the plane found itself stuck in what's known as a phugoid cycle, leaving the crew unable to control their descent, and in a way,
What the fuck is
unable
a
to
phugoid
descend
cycle? Tell me what that
at
is.
all. Over and over, the craft nosedives thousands of feet and rapidly picks up speed before the nose naturally begins to point up, recovering the lost altitude and stalling. It again dives, ascends, dives,
Nigga,
and
so it's
ascends,
just in the
all while
fucking-
banking
oh
at
my
angles of up to 40
God.
degrees in either direction.
40
By now, the
degrees?
crew is doing everything they can to make their way back to Haneda Airport for an emergency landing. Yet the aircraft is doing everything it can to prevent that.
6:40 p.m., 28 minutes into the flight. Altitude to 22,240 feet.
The pilots have not utilized their oxygen masks, and acute hypoxia has taken its grip. The phugoid cycle is problem number one, yet posing another threat is the ever-encroaching side-to-side roll of the aircraft. To mitigate this, the crew manages to engage the landing gear, effectively suppressing the phugoid cycle. However, over the course of the next 5 minutes, the plane descends over 10,000 feet while
Holy
rolling at an
fuck.
angle of over 40 degrees.
Holy fuck.
Effectively, they achieve a complete 360-degree downward spiral over the town of Atsuki, and are understandably losing hope as every critical second bleeds by.
Holy fuck, nigga. I would lose my absolute fucking mind if I was in that plane. Cause no matter what the fuck they tell me, I'm not like these regular dumb niggas. I'm thinking like, yo, we're done. We're done. Even when it's a regular ass flight and there's too much turbulence and I feel that bitch and it feels not regular, I already know we might be done. Just close my eyes, sit here. Can you control the aircraft now? It's uncontrollable. Roger. Hey there, it's a mound ahead, I know. Turn right. There's a mound there. I know, sir. Take control to the right. Right turn. We could hit the mountain. Right turn. Left turn. Understood. Put more power on left turn now. Left turn. It doesn't work. Nose down. Good. We're heading close to the mountain. Yes, sir. Not good. It's stalling. Max power, max power, max power. It's stalling. Our altitude has descended. The speed, it's too much. Just try you. $6:50 p.m. 38 minutes into the flight. Altitude 6,800. Bro. Oh my fucking god. The niggas dropped so many feet in the span of like fucking 20 minutes. Holy shit.
This game, you're not ready.
The plane has dropped to a mere 6,800 feet. They are now heading opposite of Haneda Airport and straight towards Mount Takamagahara. Over the next 5 minutes, the crew fights to gain altitude to move away from this impending threat and manages to climb again to 11,000 feet. False hope this is, however, as they find themselves in yet another downward spiral. This time, right over treacherous terrain.
Oh my fucking god, nigga. This is the end. Nigga, that's how close they were. I don't know if this is like bro, I don't know if this nigga makes YouTube videos where it's like a reenaction. I don't even know how this nigga would have this information. Probably from the airport. It blew up, huh? That's it? Yep. 6:56 p.m. Time of impact. Chapter 3. Aftermath. Play cassette tape. There's actual footage. Yuno Village, Sano District, Japan. Thank God
In
they
the quaint
disappeared into the
village of
fog.
Ueno, nestled
I
on
got
the
scared,
mountainside,
nigga. I got so scared.
residents awaken to a lingering odor. In the air, rescue and news helicopters zoom by as they discern something
no, it's a
the
helicopter.
locals don't. On the ground, rows of trucks and buses are on the move, while crowds gather and gaze in utter confusion. Yet, amidst all of this, hardly anyone knew the gravity of what was happening. 21 miles southwest of their location, the remains of Japan Airlines Flight 123 are
Holy fuck.
burning and are scattered across the
Holy
mountainside.
shit.
The plane is completely shredded. The landscape, wounded,
Holy fuck. This shit destroyed everything. I'm betting this is from one of the wings, just fucking absolutely clawed through all of the trees. This one right here too, but it looks like it was less effective because this is probably on a higher point. This is exactly where it was fucking.
and to say that this scene was grim is a criminal understatement.
I'm saying, nigga, holy fuck. Rest in peace of all them,
Out of the
nigga.
524 passengers
All
on
their
board that
souls.
night, only 4 survived.
Holy
This was
fuck.
the worst loss of life involving a single aircraft in the history of aviation.
Only 4.
This incident is devastating, and the most frustrating aspect of all of this is that it did not have to turn out this way at all. You see, just 20 minutes after impact, a U.S. Air Force serviceman named Michael Antonucci spotted and phoned in the crash location. However, instead of making the call to lend support immediately, the Japanese military called off the rescue operation under the presumption that not a single passenger survived.
Oh my fucking god, my nigga. You could have saved more fucking lives. Are you stupid, nigga? Go check. You don't know if niggas are alive or not. Go check. What would you like if you was one of them niggas fucking piece of metal, a piece of the plane that you were just flying in, stabbed inside of them, fucking struggling to live, nigga? Last moments,
For
they
over
were just
12
trying to go
hours,
home,
the
see their
plane
family.
burned throughout the night. A handful still alive and awaiting help from numerous
Like what,
aircraft
nigga? Are you
that passed
stupid,
right
nigga?
above them. Aircraft that saw them, yet they were completely unaware that help was never coming. One of the 4 survivors, named Yumi Ochiai, later recalled their experience from that evening, explaining how throughout the night they could hear children crying, adults screaming.
Oh my fucking god, nigga. It's exactly what I was saying.
loud at first, yet as the hours went by, these pleas slowly faded into silence. Some fell out of consciousness, some lost the energy to continue, but for the vast majority, this stillness signaled the agonizing death of lives that could have been helped.
That shit fucking disgusts me.
It took 12 hours in total for rescuers to arrive, yet by then, the scene was a gruesome graveyard. A Japanese medical doctor stated that had this rescue come 10 hours earlier, perhaps they would have found more survivors.
Shit disgusts me, nigga. Actually,
But it was silent.
fuck the army.
In the years following the incident, no one would fly Japan Air, resulting in the company taking a massive hit in revenue.
Yeah, nigga, I
With
wouldn't
this,
either.
both the airline and the Boeing company would pay out hundreds of millions of dollars to the victims' families over time.
Like, how the fuck do you not check the fucking plane before you fucking fly it, my nigga? You can check to see that the fucking wings aren't working. Like, the fucking shifters aren't working, my nigga. Like, you see that. You see that.
A reparation immaterial in the grand scheme of this tragedy. Even then, however, guilt festered in the minds of Japan Air employees, as two of them, a 59-year-old maintenance official named Hiru Tominaga and a 57-year-old inspector named Susumu Tajima, would later take their own lives, with the former leaving a note with just a single phrase: "I am atoning with my death." In the end, investigators attributed the
scary.
tragedy to improper repairs to the plane's aft pressure bulkhead, the rear component of the pressure seal present in all aircraft. It was learned that 7 years prior, the same aircraft encountered a tail strike incident during a landing, cracking the bulkhead and rendering the plane unflyable. During repair, the engineers planned to utilize a large splice plate to connect the two sides of the crack, while reinforcing it with 3 rows of solid rivets.
That shit ain't work, nigga. You should have replaced it, dumbass
When
nigga.
done correctly, this would re-establish the full structural integrity of the wall, rendering it just as safe as it was before for flight. In reality, however, the repair did not go this way at all. Instead of using one splice plate, Boeing's repair technicians used 2 in parallel to the crack, effectively rendering one entire section of rivets completely useless. This oversight was never discovered, and the plane flew in this condition over 12,000 times.
12,000? 12,000! I'm glad their fucking company doesn't exist no more, nigga.
Hey, so I just saw this great movie where cars turn into robots. So, got me thinking,
No
which
way!
Toyota?
Get out my face. Rest in peace, bro.
This tragedy echoes through the lives of everyone involved and is one of the most unspeakable catastrophes that should have been prevented. It's hard to grasp the sheer horror of experiencing a plane crash, let alone surviving it. Those who did had to endure a trauma and a loss that is unimaginable. The agonizing moments afterward, crushed under wreckage, helpless under the night sky, effectively forgotten in a blazing wilderness. I feel horrible for everyone on board that fateful night, and for the families and friends that were eagerly waiting for them.
Fuck that army, fuck the
Oben is
plane,
typically a time of
fuck that
communion,
airline.
an annual reconnection with seldom seen loved ones. But for the 520 victims who lost their lives that night, they were never able to finish their journey to see them. Their
Rest in peace,
families
bro.
awaited those that would never show, and their memory is forever stained by an incident that never should have happened.
Rest in peace, bro.
That night, there was nothing anyone could have done. No way they could have known. But in the wake of it all, one thing is certain. Their memory, their lives, will forever be
Not be
cherished by
forgotten.
those that loved them,
Facts.
and their legacy will forever endure until the end of time.
Facts. Rest in peace, bro. All of flight 123. Oh my god, bro.
Listen to me. Listen well. You have no enemies. No one does. There are no enemies. No one out there deserves to be hurt. No one at all.